Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here with all 4 lobes of my brain securely bound behind my nutsack. And welcome to another episode of Call Center Survivor, where I lead you through the shark-infested waters of working at a call center. Today, I'm going to be discussing a variety of call centers that are shuttering. They're closing them down, having layoffs around the entire country. It's going to be a good show. Stick around.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?
So, before I get to today's main topic, I'm going to ask each and every one of you a favor. If you want to support this channel, if you believe in what I'm talking about here, if you know somebody that's worked in the call center and they were tormented by it, if you know that you've worked in one and you hated it, tell people about this channel. The easiest and most inexpensive way to support my channel is to spread the word. Like and subscribe. Right down here, just pick up your mouse, click like, click subscribe, click forward, share the videos, share the playlist, share it all. Tell everybody about this channel. Now, if you are feeling generous and you do have some extra cashola in your pocket over there, says Gallardi. I'll tell you about Gallardi here in a second. Feel free to buy my music. You can buy that song that you just heard right there. It's an original tune I wrote. Copyrighted with the United States. Copyright.gov. Call Center Blues, you can buy that on CD Baby or on Apple or Amazon Music. You can buy my books. You can become a member here and see behind the scenes, insider looks behind the scenes of Call Center Survivor. You can also join my Patreon channel. So there's a variety of ways you can support the channel and look forward to, seeing all of your bright, shining faces on here and help support it, keep it going. Anything you can do to help support it will be great. And I had mentioned this man. This is Gallardi. This is a gentleman who was in Cleveland in the 1960s. He worked for the CBS affiliate, which was Channel 8 here in Cleveland. And he, at the time, ran a kids' talk show. Not a kids' talk show, but a kids' monster movie show. He was the host on a monster movie, kids show, where he showed old, crappy monster movies like Plan 9 from Outer Space and stuff like that. And he would make fun of it. He'd make comments and he had little skits. And he was very well liked and revered here in Cleveland. He was a very controversial person here in Cleveland. He actually got run out of town by the PTA, the Parent Teachers Association, because he was making fun of a certain suburb called Parma and making fun of the way the teachers dressed. And back then that was considered real racy and wild. But he went on to fame and fortune in Hollywood as an announcer for ABC. He left Cleveland, went to Hollywood, and became a very well-known announcer for shows like The Love Boat, where he'd go, "The Love Boat," stuff like that. So that's who Mr. Ernie Anderson is. But let's proceed with today's show. Today's show, I did a search. Let's go over to let's get off of here. We'll go over to YouTube. And I did a search over here for call center layoffs. And the first thing that came up was call center healthcare workers on strike in Riverview. Let's take a look at that. This is in Tampa Bay. This is from 10 months ago.
Right now, hundreds of healthcare call center workers in Riverview are on strike.
Hey, hey, ho, ho.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. I'm a 2-bit sleazy ho.
This is at the Maximus Call Center in Riverview. The company is a federal contractor that helps with Obamacare enrollment, Medicare, and works the information line for the CDC. Last month, Maximus laid off 700 workers across Florida, Louisiana, Virginia, and Mississippi. Workers are demanding protections against layoffs, $25 an hour, more opportunities to advance their careers, and access to affordable
$25 an hour. You guys are going to get laid off too. Be careful there, kids. No one's going to pay you $25 an hour to work in an Obama healthcare call center. Nah, never happened.
health care.
Even though I'm helping millions of Americans every day get great quality health care, my health care is not good. I have a medical condition. I have to see the doctor or go to the doctor every 3 months to get blood work done. I haven't been able to do that in 2 years because I'm not able to afford the deductible.
Workers from 5 other...
So So they work for Obamacare, signing people up for Obamacare, and whoever is Maximus, it must be one of these call center BPOs or something like that. Maximus doesn't pay. Maximus pays Minimus. That's pretty funny. Let me take my head out of here. Maximus pays Minimus. We want $25 an hour. It's just not going to happen, guys. You're going to lose your jobs. I hate to tell you that. I don't know what was the result of the strike, but so they're working for Maximus and they're paying their shitty benefits. They've got shitty benefits, even though they're signing people up for Obamacare. That's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Other call centers across the southeastern United States are also part of this strike today.
Here's LL Bean. Now, LL Bean, I didn't know they had a call center. Oh, Lovey, who calls into an LL Bean call center? Lovey, it's called the call center. My wool sweater, my wool winter sweater, my favorite one, it shrank in the wash. And I didn't read the tag that you're not supposed to wash wool in the water. Whoever thought such a thing, Lovey? We spent $120 on this fine garment. LL Bean announces staff layoffs, reduction in call center hours.
LL Bean is in the process of laying off customer service employees in addition to reducing its call center hours. A spokesperson says they are making the changes because of an increase in online shopping and a decrease in customer contacts. They have
because people hate calling contact centers.
Not yet said how many employees will be affected by the layoffs, but those impacted will be offered severance and other benefits. The LL Bean call center will now be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
That is just recent. That is from 5 months ago. Okay, layoffs at Kettering Victoria's Secret call center, WARN. Victoria's Secret has a call center? Can you imagine the perverts that call in there? Hey, I got a rip in my panties. Can you help me get them repaired?
More than 100 people are now looking for new jobs after Victoria's Secret Direct Fulfillment Center in Kettering announced it's laying off employees. A notice from the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services says the cuts will impact about 120 employees. Since a lot of those positions became remote, the city of Kettering doesn't expect a huge economic impact for the city.
The silver lining for the city, or where we're going to.
The silver lining of my panties, of the city. I'm a very masculine man, but I do have Victoria's Secret a thong on right now. Thank you.
To focus next. The city's going to focus on helping make sure that Bigger Road location that formerly housed.
Does it look like his nose is whittled out of wood?
Victoria's Secret is filled, hopefully with great jobs.
Those layoffs are slated to begin on March 16th and will be completed no later than August the 3rd.
Lowe's layoff IT call center employees.
First tonight, confusion and anger. That's what some employees at a Mooresville-based Fortune 500 company are feeling after being let go. Good evening, I'm Brian Blakely.
And I'm Alicia Barnes. Queen City News has learned Lowe's laid off a number of workers in its IT department. Queen City News reporter Sydney Heiberger spoke to one of the employees impacted by this mass move. Sid?
Right, according to an email sent to some Lowe's employees, people who were being laid off were offered to stay through the.
As anybody knows that news anchors today can't say an entire sentence without stumbling over their words? We see it all over Cleveland on all the stations. They're like, today Lowe's home and where? What is that? Is everybody's brain in this country scrambled?
End of the fiscal year, and if they do, they'll get a retention award, possibly $7,000. The employee I interviewed decided to stay with the company to receive that bonus, and so we agreed to keep him anonymous.
It was honestly a blindside.
A blindside. That's how one.
A blindside.
And Lowe's IT employee says he felt on October 20th when he found out he.
And this is from 10 months ago.
And many of his teammates were losing their jobs.
Trying to wrap my head around it since I got told, and I still have yet to truly figure out why.
The tech worker says he was informed the company was going to outsource its IT call center overseas. The center's workers take calls from other Lowe's employees.
So they're going to outsource it overseas. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, my wife got laid off in October of last year, too. And companies nationwide were laying off at the same time. I don't know how they could coordinate that. You know, we can go down the conspiratorial path, but I'm going to save that for another day and another channel. So it's going over to Mumbai. No offense to all of you in India, but what they're doing is they're going to pay you guys in India $2.50 an hour to do what it was costing these guys in IT probably at least $22 an hour, because I'm sure if you're working in IT, you're making it a lot more money than they want to pay you.
The center's workers take calls from other Lowe's employees experiencing internal software issues. The employee who spoke with us says the move goes against the company's marketing.
I find it disingenuous now when I see a Lowe's commercial saying that they're, proudly helping Americans or proudly helping veterans.
Amen, brother. They don't give a shit about us Americans. They don't care about us.
Myself and quite a few others on my team are veterans.
A Lowe's spokesperson would not confirm how many employees are being laid off or whether the company is, in fact...
Now, that's a real call center. They make it look so fun and happy when they do these videos for, trying to get you to join a company. Look at that. Random pieces of paper, hand sanitizers, teeny tiny screens. It's kind of a well-lit room. But people of all walks of life,
being laid off, or whether the company is, in fact, outsourcing its call center overseas. They did tell us, quote, Lowe's is continually evaluating how to improve its operations. As part of this process, we have made some staffing changes that affect the jobs of a limited number of corporate associates in
corporate associates. Do you ever notice how they call call center representatives call center agents, like we're all little spies? Hey, I'm a call center agent, and I'm here on behalf of the Russian government. What a stupid way of softening up what we really do.
Customer-facing roles. It's a decision some employees find puzzling, as they claim they got consistent praise for high performance.
Just a couple months prior to this announcement, we were given, all hourly employees across the company were given a discretionary bonus because we had done so well in the quarter.
In Mooresville, Sydney Heiberger, Queen City News.
All right, tech companies announce layoffs. This is Amazon.
The new year is not starting off on a happy note for workers at some of the country's largest tech companies, with more layoffs just announced. ABC's Alexis Christophers is here with those details. Good morning, Alexis.
That's right, Gio. Good morning.
Hold on, Alexis. Hold on. This is from 8 months ago, so this is roughly around January, February. This video is taken. So all these videos in this video that I'm making for you guys is within this year. I did a search for just within this year. So let's, Olivia, bring it on home, baby, in that sexy outfit of yours. Oh my God. What is she wearing? What are you wearing, lady? You're on the news? Are you on Good Morning America? What are you on? Yeah, you're Good Morning America. It looks like you're wearing like spider webs or something. All right.
Companies kicking off the new year by tightening their belts as the once red-hot job market gradually cools off.
What, the once red-hot job market? What are they talking about? Red-hot job market? I've seen thousands of videos on YouTube and TikTok for the last couple of years, especially on YouTube, where people can't find work. They're living in their cars, they're living in the woods, they're living in the streets, they're living in little wooded areas off the interstate. It's a red-hot job market, though. Guess they took that line from the Biden administration.
This week alone, about a dozen major companies announced job cuts, including Amazon and Google's parent Alphabet. The two tech giants are reversing the hiring sprees they went on during the pandemic and cutting hundreds of jobs across multiple divisions. Citigroup is eliminating 20,000 jobs over the next 2 years as part of a restructuring plan. And Xerox announced over 3,000 layoffs, or about 15% of its workforce. Other companies announcing layoffs so far this
I didn't even know Xerox was still in business.
year include BlackRock, Universal Music Group, Duolingo, and the messaging platform Discord.
I wouldn't be surprised, as I had speculated, and many of you had speculated, that within the next couple of years, call centers will be gone and replaced by robots. Here's a Good Morning America. This is CBS Sunday Morning report, how artificial intelligence is revamping customer call centers.
You dial the number,
Yes.
navigate the recorded instructions,
Yes.
and if you're lucky, there's a person, a real person on the other end of the line.
Hopefully it's a sunshine with a headset on talking to me. Hi, this is PTPOP. Can I help you?
If you're lucky. But
Oh.
more often than not, you don't get the action you'd hoped for.
What call center are you calling, honey? Get me some action on this phone, baby.
So, is your call important to them, really?
No, it's not important to you.
David Pogue looks at customer service,
David,
its
bring it on, baby.
frustrations, and its future.
Ah.
A call may be recorded or monitored.
Want to know how I spent my Tuesday?
I bet you did with a bottle of baby lotion.
Trying to report some fraudulent credit card charges.
Thank you for calling Global Commercial Card.
Hi. Yes, report some fake charges on my credit card.
I'll connect you with our fraud team.
I see.
Thanks so much for your business.
Okay. Customer service is a real problem in this country. Just ask literally anyone.
So I've got a tale for your customer service story.
That said, we're sorry. We don't have anybody right now to answer your call. Please call back another time.
AT&T had me on the phone for 6 hours.
The airline gave me the runaround via email. It kept saying it couldn't find our flight.
Said, lady, the technician is standing 2 feet in front of me, and he has the unit in his hand.
So why is customer service so bad? First of all,
2 weeks of training, and that's it? How about that for starters?
labor shortage. Especially since the pandemic, it's hard to find people
Give
who
me a goddamn break. These people are living in a fantasy world that is a labor shortage. Give me a break. Poor training, 2 weeks of training, unrealistic metrics, crazy, insane supervisors, pressure that sends people out the door on a gurney with the paramedics. Are you kidding me?
the call center jobs. The average call center worker quits after about 18 months.
18 months? Are you kidding me? Where does he get this number? I have said this again and again and again.
Second.
No. Hold on, John, or whatever your name is. You walk into a call center training class with 30 people. And within the first week, 5 people are gone. By the end of the second week, another 5 people are gone. 1/3 of your class is gone. For whatever reason, they walk out the door, they get fired. And within the first 6 months of leaving that training class and being on the floor, half your team is gone. This guy is smoking dope. I don't know where he got his numbers from. He doesn't cite his references like a good journalist. Put down the baby lotion there, John.
Consolidation. All those corporate mergers of airlines and banks and telecom companies and cable companies. Now there's not as much competition, so there's less incentive to fix the problems.
See, this is where someone like me telling you the truth about call centers is far superior to this goofball telling you. He's pulling all of this out of some type of corporate numbers, jargon, bullshit, word salad. Because of mergers, the bottom line is this. They don't give a shit about the customer. They throw a call center together to try to pacify the customer that's screaming and yelling and try to maintain some type of decorum, some type of front that makes them appear that the customer's always right. But he can't say that because he's working for ABC, or no, is this NBC? He can't say the truth because they're bought and paid for by all the big companies that run the world.
So what happens? You get a lot of unhappy customers, or worse.
They call in, they see you as part of the organization that's imposing the issue rather than...
I'd love to see some agents that are this attractive. I'm sorry. I don't want to apologize for being heterosexual, but I'm very heterosexual. And every time you walk into a call center, you're not surrounded by nice-looking young ladies like this. You're surrounded by obese little
I gotta go up my cigarette break. Excuse me, Sonny. Pardon me while I get past you with one of my warts. You know, it's awful. The people, the men in there are no better looking either. Where did they find that this? She works for who? Official medical team, Orlando Health. I mean, maybe, you know, the people I work. I mean, Phoenix is filled with gorgeous women, and they're not working in call centers.
A human being.
Believe it or not, I've had somebody curse me out completely. They can't see you. They're
Come on, you know.
just over the phone. So they take advantage of that, of course.
They call with their frustrations. They don't understand the procedures. They have been told no multiple times.
And sometimes that brushes off on me. I'm frustrated too. I want to help you out. I stand up. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get in a state where I'm sweating.
Would you ever say to a caller, I need to put you on hold for a second, when you really don't, but you just need a break?
Of course.
Of course. If you could just please provide me with your date of birth.
Work in customer support for health companies and patient advocacy nonprofits in Orlando.
Well, right now I don't even see that you're registered, so there's nothing to resubmit.
I've read that turnover in call center work is more than double the average of other jobs.
I think it's hard. They're not necessarily looking for a resolution.
So what they did, if these are real call center people, they went through the call center and they handpicked the best looking people on the floor. The most well-spoken, the ones they could clean up the best, put them in a cute little outfit or whatever they're wearing here, because this thing that she's wearing is not her coat. Look how big that is. That's like a guy's coat or something she's wearing, because look how far down the shoulders fall off her. She's a tiny thing. They look at this. The producer's walking. Okay, pick her, pick him, pick her. Okay, get them cleaned up. Get makeup on them. Get rid of the acne on this one and this one and this one with this kind of makeup.
They're looking to vent.
Yep.
So, yeah, that can be kind of difficult and taxing.
Okay, give me just a second. Let me pull.
Customer service is not easy.
Look, she's Chick-fil-A. Look at the styrofoam cup and a Snickers bar. Is that what that Snickers bar? She's eating healthy. This is what real call center people look like right here. Not that she's ugly, but she's just not as photogenic as the other people.
It's not meant for everyone.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
So if the job can be so hard, why do they do it?
There's also a lot of redeeming qualities. It's very mentally stimulating.
What? It's mentally stimulating? Are you kidding me? I've done this since 1990, guys. 1990, and it is not mentally stimulating. It's mentally and emotionally draining. It's taxing. Taxing on your body, taxing on your mind, taxing on your emotions. These people are ringers. There's nobody I've ever spoken to. I've known people personally that have worked in call centers, and no one has ever come up to me after work and go, you know what? Hey, Pete, let's go have a beer because I'm just mentally stimulated right now because I just got yelled and screamed at over at the insurance company and the call center. Hey, mentally stimulated. Let's go throw a few back because it's so exciting to be in a call center.
Because every day is a new challenge or new experience.
The beauty of it is, honestly, to me, is to help out. It brings me joy.
See, you can tell she's got the believe look in her eyes. And I've done some studying on body language, and anybody that raises their eyebrows is the believe me look. Like she's like, believe me, please believe me. She's full of shit. And I don't even remember what she's saying now. What is she saying?
Every day is a new challenge or new experience.
The beauty of it is, honestly, to me,
the beauty of it. It's so beautiful.
Is to help out.
It's such. I thought that when I was really young, in my 20s, like I'm gonna get to help people. Yay! No, you're gonna get bent over every day and done up the backside, and you're going to have to smile and say, "Please, harder, Mr. Customer, harder."
It brings me joy. Sometimes I cry with the patient.
Oh my God! She cries with them. Oh. I don't know if I can continue with this. It's such horseshit. I don't know if I can continue.
So excited to actually help someone out.
No cable company customer call center employee has ever cried with me.
No, and they're not going to. And if anything, they're muting the phone and they're flipping you the bird, dude. And they're making fun of you, and they're farting in their microphone. They're barfing at the sound of your voice. You know how many sob stories I've heard? Well, my grandmother died. She was eaten by alligators down in the Everglades, and my cell phone fell in the water. I was trying to pull her out. Oh, okay, sir. Great. That's sorry to hear that. Okay. Is there anything else I can help you out with today?
Thank you for holding.
And so for years, that's how things have stood. Two frustrated armies of people on opposite ends of the line, each frustrated by a dysfunctional, underfunded system. And then...
Get the baby lotion out, John. You're boring me.
This happened.
My name is Grace. I'm a virtual front desk agent. What can I help you with today?
I left a bag at the gate.
Can you describe the item?
It's a 9-foot Steinway grand piano.
I have good news for you. We were able to locate an item matching that.
9-foot Steinway piano, huh? And the robot found it.
Description.
Welcome to the new age of artificial customer service. Artificial intelligence, that is.
You can adjust these personality sliders. How much empathy should the bot show? How much should it respond to your emotion?
Nico Benitez is a co-founder of GridSpace, creators of an AI phone rep called Grace.
My name is Grace.
At this moment, more than 100 hospital chains, airlines, phone companies, and banks use Grace to take customer calls.
Grace!
It doesn't sound like you're talking to a robot. You hear the ums and uhs and all the imperfections that indicate that someone is listening.
Anthony Scuderi is another GridSpace co-founder.
And so if you have a system that feels like it's listening to you and doesn't make you restate yourself, it's much less frustrating as a user interface.
How does Grace make life easier for the humans at the call center?
Well, that's a really hard job. And it's just people yelling at you all day. And so one way Grace can help is by being kind of a bit of a blast shield. By, first someone calls in, they state their intent, they complain, the bot tries their best to help them, and then the person can kind of come in as the hero. I mean, that's in general how automation really helps people, which is it enables people to do the stuff that people are best at.
So it looked like the shirt he's wearing is like a shirt over a shirt, like the producer said, hey, get him into a better shirt. Because to me, it looks like there's something over the shirt. It doesn't look like a shirt he would normally wear. They probably did it so they could have something to clip the microphone to, too.
Do the stuff that people are best at. But then for the other 90% of calls where people are calling in with password reset, or whatever, Grace can just deal with that.
GridSpace set up a fake Airline 800 number so I could witness firsthand how Grace hands you off to a human when the problem requires creativity.
Thanks for calling CPS Airlines.
I have a service animal. Can I bring my service animal?
Yes, you are allowed to bring your service animal on board.
Okay, it is a tiger. Is that okay?
I'm sorry, but I don't have any information about bringing a tiger as a service animal. I'd be happy to transfer you to an agent.
So common sense is not her strong suit.
If there's no policy about tigers, she's not.
He looks like a bastard child of George W. Bush, doesn't he? The newscaster. He looks a little bit like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
It's really not. Do people ever tell you sound boring on the phone? Can you shut up and tell me how to get this computer to show porn?
AI acting as a representative of your company can get you in a lot of trouble. And so we would rather err on the side of being real by the book, real literal.
Meanwhile, Grace offers another benefit to us puny humans, much less sitting on hold. She's answering millions of phone calls simultaneously.
Yeah, picks up right away, even if it's a machine.
A fascinating concept, but not.
That's true. It picks up. They are. These bots are answering millions of calls simultaneously. And you don't have to feed them. You don't have to put the pens on them. You don't have to give them, bathroom breaks, all that stuff, or pay them health insurance.
Not everyone is sure that AI is the answer.
It seems like you lose
Oh, here we go. It seems like you lose some of the human touch. I bet you that's what she says.
that connection, that ability to make that good first impression and to connect with the patient right off the bat.
She's got the believe me look in her eyes again. And he does too. He's like, really? You don't even know what he's looking at. You don't know if that's a real camera shot at the time she's speaking. They could have just had him sit there and make different faces and then cut it in later. To make it look like it was a 2-camera shot shoot when it was really only one.
It seems impersonal.
Oh, it's so impersonal.
I love the fact that we can actually they're live agents.
Do you think she can dial a phone with those eyelashes? I bet you she can.
You can't do that with an AI.
Take that, Grace. Plenty of companies are working on AI customer support systems like
Look at those nails.
Grace. But until they become widespread and reliable, most of the people answering your
Look at the size of these women. No offense, ladies, attractive ladies, but the three that you saw that were being interviewed, at the most, they're probably in marketing or advertising or something, or they're directors or managers. They probably haven't been on the phones in years, if they were ever. Most ladies you sit next to in the call centers look like this. They're very large. Large and in charge, baby.
calls will still be people.
We get them at their worst, but then also at times when you can pivot and recover that situation, then get them at their best and their most grateful.
So you forgive them their anger?
Yeah. So no need to forgive. There's no forgiving.
There's no need to forgive. That's true. Like when I get yelled at, I mean, you get yelled at so much and you're called so many filthy names and I don't hate those people. I don't ever hang up the phone. I might say, oh, they were a jerk or worse under my breath, but you have to go on to the next call. You know, there's no time to sit there and harbor resentment of some stranger from across the country that you'll never see in person and, hate them or something. It doesn't work that way. So it's really not being done to help the customers. It's being done to help the corporation save money. And they don't care that all these call centers are closing across the country. They don't give a crap because they're sitting in a boardroom around a big oak table with a bottle of brandy, mostly men, going, how can we save some money? Well, Bill, I got this idea to save some money. They got these things called artificial intelligence bots. We could get rid of half our call centers, if not all of them, with these bots. Really? How much will that save us? It'll save us $10 million a year. Let's get to it there, Jake. They don't give a shit about you. And any of you out there that think that any of these corporations care about you or your family, your dying mother or your father that's got Alzheimer's, and that you need this job and you need the benefits, they do not care. They do not care. Most of these places are run by men whose minds are in other places. Let's just put it on they're thinking with the little head. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys, I'm PTPOP, and that's the status of the call center world out there today. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you like my videos, like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon channel. Become a member here. Buy my books on Amazon, my music on CD Baby. And I wish you all well. Hasta la vista, baby.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?